We're receiving numerous calls of a loud explosion in the area.
Evacuating this entire neighborhood.
There's a huge explosion. All the windows are knocked out.
The house that was the initial explosion, those folks were not home, so that was a blessing.
It's just a sad thing to happen, but I'm glad there was, as far as we know, no loss of life.
Everybody's safe. That's all that matters.
It is truly a miracle. Only 2 people were injured when a home exploded in Twinsburg. It is our top story this morning. Thank you so much for joining us here on 3 News at 5. I'm Danita Harris. Dave has the morning off. Let's get right to this top story. We're going to Twinsburg Township, where a gas explosion tore through a neighborhood. This happened on Hiram Lane in the Woodlands neighborhood. 3 homes were destroyed, more than 20 others damaged, and at least 2 people injured. David Greenberg and Candace Hare are live at the scene right now, but we're going to start with Candace, who has more details on what led up to the explosion. Good morning, Candace.
Good morning, Danita. Yes, I'm on North Hiram Lane, and if you take a look behind me, you'll see that road closed sign. They do have a sheriff's vehicle out here, and this is as close as we are being allowed to get right now as cleanup and the investigation continues here. Now, fire officials say this started as a reported gas leak after a contractor working in the area hit a gas line, and neighbors were told to leave the area or shelter in place. Then, just minutes later, there was a massive explosion. Now, this all unfolded on Thursday afternoon. That's when crews were called here to Hiram Lane after a worker that was laying fiber line in the area hit that gas line. The Twinsburg Fire Department tells us that there was very little wind in the area at the time, and that meant that the natural gas wasn't able to disperse and started settling into the neighborhood. And as gas company crews headed to the scene, 1 home exploded. The blast destroyed 3 homes, severely damaging a dozen more, and left 2 people hurt. Now, the company that was digging in the area, Unity Group, said that they were working in this area, adding via statement, quote, "We are cooperating with authorities and working to understand exactly what happened. Our thoughts tonight are with everyone in the Twinsburg Township area who has been impacted."
We smelled gas. They called the gas company. They told us to shelter in place. We stayed inside. And then probably 15, 20 minutes later, just boom.
My wife was at home at the time, and she called me panicking, and she said house exploded, and I guess it knocked her off her feet.
Now, the gas lines in the area of that explosion have been shut up as the investigation does continue into exactly what happened here. But I can tell you that Lieutenant Mike Perlatti with the Twinsburg Fire Department, he says that he's never seen anything like this in his career, because he says when explosions like this happen, typically the fire department and crews are not on scene when this takes place. And he actually said that a gas company worker told them that had their call to evacuate come just 30 seconds later, they could have been right in the blast zone when that explosion took place. Danita, it really just highlights once again how remarkable it is that more people were not injured here.
Yeah, remarkable indeed. 30 seconds was the difference. Wow. All right, Candace, thank you so much. And you know, as neighbors gathered waiting for answers, they too shared in the feeling of relief that no one was seriously injured, especially because this blast zone was quite large. Our David Greenberg is also in Twinsburg this morning. David, how widespread was the damage?
Yeah, Danita, good morning. Well, again, this is a situation where you have so many houses damaged, some of them incredibly damaged, and some of that debris was spread all throughout the neighborhood. We're told that there was pieces of debris up in trees, making it dangerous for people to get back into their houses and eventually then re-enter just to grab some of those necessities that they needed. Take a look at some of the video here from our crews coming in that were out here on the scene last night. And you could see just the neighbors standing around in disbelief. Some of them able to eventually get back in, traveling with suitcases, with coolers, just packing anything that they could, trying to eventually go and find a place to stay. And when you look around at some of the devastation, again, like Candace was saying, it is truly a miracle to think about how much worse this could have been.
We heard a big bang and our garage door shook. We had no idea what was going on, and then my tenant reached out to me and said there's a huge explosion, all the windows are knocked out.
It shook up the entire neighborhood, and it's just a sad thing to happen. But I'm glad there was, as far as we know, no loss of life.
And again, no loss of life there, just 2 injuries. One person was transported to the hospital after the blast, another person transported for unspecified reasons. But again, cannot understate, Danita, just what a miracle it is, the fact that there was no other serious injuries in all this. Of course, we're waiting to get an update on those conditions of those individuals today.
Well, Greenberg, I agree with you. Miracle is the word. That is the right word to describe that no one else was hurt in this huge blast. All right, thank you so much. Meantime, 2 surrounding cities are taking precautions. Hudson announced that for now, all scheduled directional drilling operations in the city have been halted until a cause of the explosion is released. The city of Stowe also suspending all directional drilling until further notice. We're going to continue to follow this story on air and online. Just scan the QR code you see on your screen to download the free WKYC app so you can stay up to date with the very latest information.